Chosen one, this message will change your life forever. You are not here by accident. The very fact that you are watching this, that these words have found you, is a sign that God has been waiting for this moment. This is not an ordinary day. This is a divine appointment. There is something you need to hear, something that has been sealed in the heavens for this exact moment in time. God said, "Today marks the beginning of your breakthrough." For too long, you have questioned your worth. You have battled doubt, faced rejection, and walked through valleys that seemed endless. But God has been watching you all along. He has seen every tear, every sacrifice, and every prayer whispered in the quiet hours of the night. He has seen you when you felt invisible, unseen by the world, but never unnoticed by Him. And now, He is unveiling something that has always been a part of you, your divine legacy. This is your confirmation. You have been chosen. The world does not yet recognize what God has placed within you. They do not see the royal blood that runs through your veins, but heaven does. Your name is known in the kingdom of God, and what has been written about you cannot be erased. Your legacy is not one of struggle. It is one of power. It is one of victory. It is one of royalty. There is something sacred within you, something the enemy has tried to dim, but it cannot be hidden any longer. It is time for you to rise, to walk with the confidence of one who carries the mark of divine inheritance. God has blessed your lineage. What flows through you is not ordinary. Your children are unique. Your legacy is royal. Do not ignore this message. Do not let this moment slip away. This is the sign you have been waiting for. Chosen one, listen closely. What I am about to tell you is not just a message. It is a revelation. God has placed something in your lineage that cannot be erased, stolen, or diminished. This is not just about you. This is about your children, your children's children, and every generation that will come after you. There is a reason your battles have been so intense. There is a reason you have been misunderstood, rejected, and tested beyond measure. The enemy has fought you so fiercely because he knows what you carry. He knows that within your bloodline there is a divine assignment. You are not just passing down a name or a legacy of survival. You are passing down a throne. From the beginning, God has chosen certain individuals to carry His kingdom forward. The world may tell you that royalty is determined by birthright, by earthly titles and crowns, but God operates differently. He anoints. He sets apart. He calls the ones the world has overlooked. And chosen one, He has called you. You are not just a person walking through life, trying to make sense of the hardships you have endured. You are a vessel of divine purpose, carrying a lineage that is meant to transform the world. There is power in your bloodline, and that power is activated by faith. When you begin to understand that your legacy is not built by human hands, but by divine decree, everything changes. Do you understand what this means? It means that your children are already marked for greatness. Before they were even born, before their first breath, God had already set them apart. No matter what challenges they face, no matter what the world tries to throw at them, they will rise. Because they carry something the world cannot take away. Look around you. Do you see how the enemy tries to attack families, tries to destroy the next generation before they even get a chance to walk in their purpose? It is not a coincidence. The forces of darkness fear what your bloodline will become. But God says, "No weapon formed against you shall prosper." Every time you have fought through pain, every time you have chosen faith over fear, you are not just fighting for yourself. You were breaking chains for your entire lineage. The blessings that are coming to your family are not just because of what you have done today. They are the result of the battles you have won in the Spirit, the prayers you have cried out, the faith you have held on to even when everything seemed impossible. God has blessed your legacy. This is not a hopeful wish or a vague idea. It is a divine reality. Heaven has already declared it. You have royal blood in your veins, not because of who you are, but because of who your Father is, the King of Kings. And what does that make you? A child of the King, a rightful heir to his promises. But here's what you must understand. A royal inheritance is not just given, it must be claimed. God has already set this before you, but it is up to you to walk in it. There are many who are called, but only those who truly believe, those who truly embrace their divine identity, will step into the fullness of what has been prepared for them. This is the moment to decide. Will you continue to see yourself as ordinary, as someone just trying to get by? Or will you stand tall, lift your head, and embrace the royal identity God has given you? This is not a time to shrink back. This is not a time to doubt. Your destiny has already been written, and it is glorious. The enemy wants to keep you in fear, in hesitation, in questioning your worth. But God is speaking clearly to you now. You are chosen. Your legacy is blessed. Your children are royal. Let this truth settle deep in your spirit. You are not just living for yourself. You are building something eternal. Chosen one, let this truth settle in your heart. You are carrying something greater than yourself. Your life, your struggles, and your victories are not just about you. They are about the generations that will come after you. God has entrusted you with a royal legacy, and that legacy carries weight. There is a reason your journey has not been easy. Those who are called to greatness do not walk an easy road. You have felt the weight of loneliness, the sting of rejection, and the frustration of waiting. You have wondered why things have been so difficult when all you wanted was peace. But let me tell you something profound. God does not prepare ordinary people for an extraordinary destiny. The weight you have carried is the evidence of your divine calling. Look at the great leaders of the Bible. Moses, David, Joseph. None of them had an easy path. Moses was rejected by his own people. David was anointed but had to fight for his throne, and Joseph was betrayed by his own family before he ever reached his destiny. But why? Because before a great blessing, there is always great testing. You have faced trials, not because you are forgotten, but because you are being refined. God has been shaping you, molding you, strengthening you so that when the time comes for your legacy to unfold, you will be ready. The pressure you have felt is not punishment. It is preparation. You see, when God places a royal mantle upon someone, He does not just look at their present moment. He looks at their bloodline. He looks at their children and their children's children. He sees beyond what you see, and that is why the battles you have faced have been so fierce. The enemy does not attack empty vessels. He attacks those who carry something powerful. And you, chosen one, are carrying something the world cannot yet comprehend. Your legacy is not about material wealth or temporary success. It is about something eternal. It is about the power of faith, the authority of righteousness, and the anointing that flows through your lineage. The choices you make today will shape the path of those who follow you. What you overcome today will be the foundation upon which your children will build their future. Think about that for a moment. The strength you gain in this season will be the strength your children inherit. The wisdom you embrace now will be the wisdom they stand upon. The faith you hold onto today will be the faith they carry forward. Your legacy is more than just a name. It is a spiritual inheritance. And this is why the enemy has tried so hard to discourage you. He has whispered lies into your mind, trying to convince you that you are alone, that you are forgotten, that nothing will ever change. But God is speaking louder now. He is reminding you of who you are. You are not weak. You are not forsaken. You are not defeated. You are chosen. And your legacy will not be one of failure or fear. Your legacy will be one of faith, strength, and divine favor. It does not matter what your past has looked like. It does not matter what your family history has been. God is in the business of rewriting stories, of breaking generational curses, of turning brokenness into blessings. And that is what He is doing in your bloodline. Your children are unique because they will not carry the burdens of the past. They will carry the blessings of the future. Your family's story is changing right now, in this very moment, because you are the one who said yes to God. You are the one who chose faith over fear, who chose perseverance over giving up. And because of that, your entire lineage is being shifted. This is not just about you. This is about your family, your future, and the divine plan that has been in motion long before you even knew who you were. Let this sink in. You are royal, not because of anything the world has given you, but because of what God has declared over your life. And when God calls something blessed, nothing can curse it. Chosen one, you must understand this. Your legacy is under attack because it is powerful. From the moment you were born, the enemy has tried to silence you, to make you doubt your worth, and to steal what God has placed within your lineage. But what God has ordained, no force in hell can destroy. There is a reason the struggles have been relentless. There is a reason you have felt like an outsider, like someone who has always carried a different weight than those around you. You are not like the rest. You were never meant to fit into the patterns of this world because God has set you apart. Do you see the way the enemy moves? He does not waste time on those who do not pose a threat. But you are dangerous. You are a living, breathing testimony of God's favor, and the moment you step fully into that identity, you become unstoppable. Think about the moments in your life when the attacks were the strongest. Think about the times you almost gave up, the times you felt like you could not take another step forward. Those were not coincidences. Those were calculated attacks designed to weaken your faith, to make you question the very calling that has been on your life since before you took your first breath. The enemy knew that if he could make you question your identity, he could delay your legacy. But what he did not count on was the power of God's hand upon you. The trials you have faced were never meant to break you. They were meant to build you. Every battle you have fought, every storm you have endured, has only made you stronger, wiser, and more prepared for what is coming next. And what is coming next, chosen one, is the unveiling of your royal inheritance. This is why you cannot give up. This is why you cannot let the weight of the world convince you that you are just another person walking through life with no greater purpose. You carry something generations before you longed to see fulfilled. The prayers of your ancestors, the faith of those who came before you, are now resting upon your shoulders. There have been moments where you have wondered, why me? Why is my journey so different? Why do I feel like I am constantly fighting battles no one else seems to face? And God is answering you now, because you were chosen to break the cycle, because you were chosen to change the story, because through you, a new bloodline is being written. What once ran through your family, struggle, fear, lack, brokenness, it ends with you. You are the one who has chosen to walk by faith when others doubted. You are the one who has chosen to trust God even when the world said it was foolish. And because of that, your lineage is being marked with divine favor. The enemy wanted you to believe that your children would suffer the same battles you did. He wanted you to believe that generational curses could not be broken. But God is the curse breaker. He is the one who turns mourning into dancing, sorrow into joy, and defeat into victory. Your children will walk in new authority because of the battles you have won. They will not carry the same burdens. You have already carried them. They will not fight the same wars. You have already conquered them. They will walk in favor because you have paved the way. Chosen one, listen carefully. Your legacy is already secure in the spirit, but you must protect it in the natural. The world will try to tell your children who they are. Society will try to label them, to make them fit into a mold that was never meant for them. You must be the voice that reminds them of their true identity. You must be the one to cover them in prayer, to speak life over them even when they do not yet understand their own calling. The words you speak over them will shape their future. If the world calls them weak, remind them they are strong. If society tells them they are ordinary, remind them they are extraordinary. If doubt tries to creep in, drown it out with the truth of God's promises. Do you realize the authority you carry? You are not just a guardian of your children. You are the gatekeeper of their destiny. Your prayers have the power to break chains before they ever touch them. Your faith has the ability to clear paths before they even take their first steps. Your obedience today is unlocking doors they will walk through tomorrow. This is why you must walk in righteousness. The enemy will try to weaken your influence, to make you stumble so that your children will not have a firm foundation to stand on. But you must remain strong. When the trials come, stand firm. When the storms rage, do not be moved. Because every battle you win in the Spirit is one less battle they will have to fight. And hear this clearly. You are not fighting alone. Heaven is backing you up. The angels of God are surrounding you. You are not stepping into this battle with your own strength. You are stepping into it with the full power of the kingdom of heaven behind you. This is why your enemies have not been able to destroy you. This is why, despite everything you have faced, you are still standing. Because you are not just anyone. You are chosen. And the royal legacy that flows through you is not one that can be defeated. Chosen one, this is your charge. Protect what God has given you. Walk in the authority you have been given. Speak life over your children and over your future. Do not let anything shake you. The world may not understand, but heaven does. The enemy may try to attack, but he will not succeed. The path may not always be easy, but the destination is already set. Your children are unique. Your legacy is royal. And nothing, absolutely nothing, can take that away. Chosen one, this is your moment. This is the moment where everything changes. Not just for you, but for your children, your grandchildren, and every generation that will come after you. The enemy has fought hard to keep you in the dark, to keep you unaware of who you really are. But now the truth has been revealed. You are standing at a crossroads. Will you walk in the identity God has given you, or will you allow fear and doubt to hold you back? Will you claim your royal inheritance, or will you hesitate, allowing the enemy to keep you from the abundance, the protection, and the favor that are already yours? This is not the time to shrink back. This is the time to rise. God is speaking directly to your spirit right now. He is telling you that you were never meant to live in uncertainty, never meant to walk in fear, never meant to question your place in His kingdom. You were always meant for more. You were always meant to reign. Look at your life. Look at the journey that has brought you here. Every struggle, every battle, every hardship, it has all been leading to this moment. The trials were never about breaking you. They were about proving you. Every time you thought you were alone, God was watching. Every time you cried out for answers, God was preparing you. And now, He is handing you the keys to a future that is greater than anything you could have ever imagined. This is why you must move in faith. Your legacy is not just about you. It is about the kingdom that God is building through you. Your children, your lineage, your very name. It has already been written in the heavens, and no force of darkness can erase what God has declared. But you must take action. You must declare over your own life that you are chosen. You must speak over your children that they are set apart, that no weapon formed against them will prosper, that the doors of opportunity, wisdom, and divine favor will always be open to them. Do you feel the shift? Do you sense the power that is being stirred within you right now? This is the awakening. Your voice carries authority. When you speak, the heavens listen. When you declare God's promises over your life, over your home, over your children, the atmosphere changes. This is the moment when you stop living in fear and start walking in the full power of your inheritance. So speak it now. Declare it with boldness. Say, I am chosen. Say, my legacy is blessed. Say, my children are royal, set apart, and covered by God's favor. The enemy cannot steal what has already been sealed by God. The time for questioning is over. The time for walking in authority has begun. God has seen your faithfulness. Now watch as He unfolds the blessings that have been waiting for you all along. Step forward, chosen one. Step into your destiny. Chosen one, this is only the beginning. What God has revealed to you today is not just a message. It is a divine awakening. From this moment forward, you will never see yourself the same way again. The veil has been lifted. The doubts that once clouded your mind have been shattered. You now know who you are. You are not forgotten. You are not ordinary. You are chosen. Your legacy is not built on the opinions of others. It is built on the Word of God, and His Word does not return void. It is established. It is secure. Nothing can stop what has already been declared over your life. But this journey is not just about what you receive. It is about what you build. You are now the protector of a royal inheritance. The world will not always understand what you carry. Some will doubt, some will question, and some will even try to discourage you. But remember this, the weight of a crown is not for everyone to bear. That is why only the chosen are given the responsibility of carrying it. You are not walking this path alone. Heaven is with you. The favor of God goes before you, making a way where there seems to be none. The prayers you have prayed in secret, the battles you have fought in silence, they have not gone unnoticed. And now, your season of breakthrough has arrived. The things that once seemed impossible will begin to unfold before your eyes. The doors that once remained closed will open. The burdens that once weighed you down will be lifted. God is proving His hand over your life, and no one will be able to deny it. Your children will rise. Your family will prosper. Your name will be a testimony of what happens when someone fully embraces their divine calling. Chosen one, God has blessed your legacy. Your story will not end in struggle. It will end in victory. And as you move forward, never forget who you are. Never forget the power you carry. Never forget that you were born for this. You are chosen. You are royal. And nothing will ever be the same again.